And what I've done, just for demonstration purposes only, just to walk you through some of the features on the trap, I've taken off the main spring. I've disconnected the whole thing. I'm just going to set it to the side. What I'm going to go over with you is positions of the arm. This is the unloaded, uncocked position. There's no tension on the spring at this point. We call this the 12 o'clock position. When you turn the machine on, the arm's going to come all the way around. It's going to load itself and it's going to stop underneath this tray. That's called the arm position, or the 6 o'clock position, loaded. That means the trap is ready to go. You do not want to be anywhere on the sides. You don't want to be sitting in front of it. You don't want to be adjusting anything on the machine. When it's loaded, you want to have everything adjusted. You don't want to be near it. You want to be ready to shoot. If you need to adjust something, you realize that you want to have it a little bit higher, or you want to lower it, or you have to stop shooting all of a sudden. This position here on the switch is a disarm position. You're going to flip it to disarm. You're going to take your foot pedal or your wireless remote. You're going to hit it one time. The arm's going to walk itself all the way out and stop at that 12 o'clock position. It's going to stop right there. There'll be no tension on the spring. There'll be no clays on the table. The trap will then be disarmed. It'll be safe for you to adjust anything you want. It'll be safe for you to store that way. And you can walk around the machine, you can adjust anything, but you want to be sure that when it stops at that disarm position, you do flip the switch back to off. Now, after you finish adjusting everything, the arm is in the 12 o'clock or disarm position, and you're ready to start shooting again. What you're going to do is you're going to make sure it's connected to the battery. You're going to come back here and you're going to flip this to the on position. The arm's then going to walk itself around. Clay's going to drop on the table. It's going to load itself. It is now in the armed position. You're ready to shoot. When you hit that foot pedal, it's going to go off. But the important thing that you need to understand about, you know, a machine like this, or any of the manual traps, anything like that, is that when the arm's in the loaded position, you don't want to be around it. It's not a safe place to be. This arm is under spring tension. Once it gets over center, it's going to release. So you don't want to try to pick up the trap or anything like that. It is not locked. Just because it's in the loaded position doesn't mean it's the only way it can go off is for you to hit the foot pedal. So that's why the disarm feature's here. So if you need to adjust something, you need to pick it up to store it, you're going to flip it to that disarm position, hit your foot pedal. Arm's going to move out to the 12 o'clock or unarmed position. You're going to flip the switch back to off. You're all set. Really easy procedure, but I can't stress enough, when the arm is loaded, you don't want to be around the trap. You don't want to be adjusting anything. It's an important safety thing for your safety. Really listen to this part carefully and the features of the disarm switch. A couple little kind of short troubleshooting features that I'll go over with you. One thing you want to look at, when the clay drops down on the tray and this arm comes around to the loaded position, you want to notice how far it's sitting away from the clay. Now, this troubleshooting tip here is, you know, if you're having any breakage or anything like that, this is one adjustment that you can try. When the arm comes in the loaded position, what you want to do is, obviously don't stand to the side of the trap or in front of it or anything like that. Just kind of stand back, and I'm going to look right back here and see how far away that arm is from the clay. Now, when I notice that and I say, well, you know, it may be a little bit too far, anywhere from right up against the clay to, you know, an inch and a half back, you should be fine. There's no kind of sweet spot or preset adjustment. If you want to adjust it, this is how you do it. What you want to do, obviously, you know, when the mainspring's on and it's loaded, because I'm going to make an adjustment, I'm going to flip it to the disarm position. I'm going to click that foot pedal. Now, it's not on right now and I don't have the mainspring on, but the arm is going to walk itself out once I flip it to that disarm position. So I'm just going to cycle it out where it would be. So that's where it would be with the disarm position. I'm going to flip the switch to off, and then I'm going to come around the front of the machine here, and there's a little micro adjustment underneath here to get that arm just a little bit closer or further away from the clay. What you'll notice is right underneath here, there's a little silver micro switch, and you can see me clicking that on and off. So this micro switch here If I want to get it a little bit closer to the clay, you can either use, you know, a pair of pliers like this. I always just use my fingers here. I'll actually take this, I'll hold the back of the limit switch here so it can't depress while I'm pushing on it. But I'm actually going to bend it forward just a little bit, just a tiny little bit. If you bend it too far, the arm's just going to keep cycling non-stop because this micro switch isn't getting depressed. So you don't want to bend it too far. But you know, I'm going to bend it forward just a hair. And if I want to get it further away, I'm actually going to bend this backward, back out in this direction. So to get it closer, I'm going to bend it this way. To get it further, the arm further away, I'm going to bend it that way. But what you're going to notice here is when the arm cycles, this cam right here comes along, and when the arm gets in the loaded position, it's going to, you hear that little click, it's going to stop because it's depressed that micro switch. So all you were adjusting right there was you were kind of manipulating where the arm's going to stop. Just a micro adjustment there, and that can get the, you know, the arm sitting right up against the clay. It can get it a little bit further away if you need it. So it's a really good tip there, just a small adjustment. What you're going to notice is when you hit the foot pedal, the arm is actually, for a split second, just going to move forward slowly. Not enough for you to tell, but it's actually going to bump up against the clay before it releases. That's the way it's making contact. So it's not always necessary to mess with the limits or the micro switch, but that is an option if you want to get it a little bit closer. Now, I can't stress to you enough how important it is that you have the arm in the disarm position, or the 12 o'clock position. So I actually have the mainspring off here, nothing's connected, so I'm free to work on this machine while it's safe. There's no chance that this machine can release or anything like that. But if you're going to just do a quick adjustment, make sure that you flip that switch to the disarm position, walk the arm all the way out to where it's uncocked, or the 12 o'clock position, turn the machine off, disconnect it from the battery, and then you can adjust this. You can hook it back up to the battery, flip it to the on position, and it'll be ready to go. But I can't stress to you enough, you do not want this to be in the armed position or 6 o'clock position when you're up here working on it. That's a big safety feature right there.